Hey guys, I know I got a ton of you guys asking me what I think about the new Druid changes and the nerfs and the buffs, so I'm just gonna go over it. The new Wowhead, or the new MMO champion, blue patch notes came out, and these aren't official, so don't think all this is gonna actually make it into the live game, so I'm gonna get into it. First thing I see is that Barkskin is no longer dispellable. That's fucking awesome. Pretty much Barkskin for Feral Druids has always been just a joke, because we just get it purged off or dispelled off instantly, and it's just kind of lame. I wish they would have made that change in Wrath when we were getting Wizard Cleave down, but oh well, it's a good change. Healing Touch is trained to level 78, up from level 3, whatever. Lacerate damage reduced by 20%. That's not really a big deal for Feral PvP, because you don't really go into bear form that much. I'm kind of glad they're nerfing it, because it's kind of, I don't know, it was kind of stupid with Frenzied Regen and shit being ridiculously OP, but bear nerf I don't really care about. Mangle bear form weapon damage has been reduced to 235%, down from 300, whatever, I don't really care about that. Mangle cat form weapon damage percent has been increased to 460, up from 360. Now that's to compensate for the bleed nerfs we're getting. Our Mangle and Rake are getting nerfed by 10%, so a lot of people were bitching about that. I don't know, from what I've been reading on Arena Junkies, the Shred Burst and the Mangle Burst is way more worth it. 10% of I think my Rake's critting for like 9k on undergeared people in PvP, so 10% of 9k really isn't that much, and I'm not really gonna cry too much about that. Mount Up, this skill perk now applies to Flight Form and Swift Flight Form. That's awesome. Maul damage been reduced by 20%. I don't really care. Nourish is trained to level 8. Whatever. Rake damage reduced by 10%. That's kind of lame, but again, we have the burst now, and our bleeds were kind of ridiculous, but I really don't care about that much, so it shouldn't be that big of a nerf, I don't think. Rejuvenation, now trained, level 3, blah blah blah. Rip, reduced by 10%. Alright, now Shred weapon damage percent has been increased to 450, up from 350. And this is where people said Shred's going to be hitting for like 4k more. So that's fucking crazy. I'd almost think that's better for PvP than the burst for some comps. I mean, yeah, if you're playing Kitty Cleave, I would think it'd be a nerf, but I think Feral Disc Frost Mage is going to be pretty sick with these new changes. Alright, and the big one, Berserk no longer makes you immune to fear. A lot of people are bitching about this a lot, and I'm not really bitching about it too much. We do kind of have a lot of uptime, so I don't know. I don't really think it's that big of a deal. And a good team is going to CC the fuck out of you regardless when Berserk's up. So I don't know. I don't really feel like it's that big of a deal. And plus, usually when you usually when you use Berserk, fuck. All right, I'm doing this in one take. So yeah, fuck it. Usually when you use Berserk at the start of a game, your healer is able to dispel you because you have momentum at the start of the game. So I really don't think it'll be that big of a deal, but maybe I'll eat my words later. But all right, now on to the amazing changes. And a lot of people wouldn't think this would be that great, but it is. Especially since I've been playing a Feral Druid for a long time, and I've been really frustrated with this mechanic. And we can use our racials in cat form now. So we can use War Stomp in cat form and bear form. We can use Shadow Meld in cat form and bear form. And that is fucking amazing. Like, Night Elf Druids are going to be insane. That's so awesome. Because it's like straight up like a fucking Vanish now. I've talked to some Night Elves and they say it works exactly like the old Vanish does, but I'm not really too sure. I haven't actually tested it myself, but I would think Night Elf Druids would be amazing. Tauren Druids are going to be sweet. War Stomp for another interrupt. That's fucking great, and we no longer have to, because we would do that a lot anyway before we got our Skull Bash. We'd War Stomp a heal, and we'd have to shift back into cat, so we have to waste a global to do it. But now, we don't have to, so that's pretty sick. And I might not be Troll anymore, so a lot of you guys that didn't want me to switch, I'll probably be going back to Tauren if that change makes it live, because Tauren Druids will be sick. But I think Night Elf Night Elf's probably going to be the best